YouTube, top of the morning, guys. Welcome back. We are here for today's episode at the Bettors Edge, and we are going to cover the Elite Eight. We are down to the final 8 teams in the NCAA tournament. But before we get into tonight's slate of action, guys, let's talk and recap last night's Friday's action in the Sweet 16. I was on this show. I talked to you about Alabama. Alabama team started off red hot against Michigan, had an early lead, took the lead into the break, and this team went ice cold. In order for this Alabama team, as I mentioned on the show, to compete with Michigan, they were going to have to shoot lights out from three for 40 minutes. It's just not sustainable against a Michigan team that defends as well as they do. In addition to that, when you have Michigan's guards between Cadeau, Gale, and McKinney giving you close to 50 points, or, I think they even surpassed 50 points if I'm not mistaken, 50 plus points, whatever the case is, you don't stand a chance against this Michigan team. Credit to Bama. They slowed down Morris Johnson, they slowed down Adai Mara, and they still got blown out of the gym. When Michigan is shooting 40% plus from three, it's curtains for anybody in the country. You're going to have to slow down their guards and not allow them to hit from three-point range if you want any chance to beat them. I'm not sure if that's going to come from Tennessee or not, but it's absolutely going to be a challenge for this Michigan offense versus Arizona or versus Duke, should they meet either of those two moving forward, whether it's in the Final Four or potentially in the national championship game. Last night, we had a huge 20-star banger on the Tennessee Volunteers. We talked about the lack and the missing presence of Joshua Jefferson. Not only does Jefferson bring size, rebounding, interior presence, which was obviously key to this game against Tennessee, we talked about how not having him on the offensive end was going to make their three-point shooting also less of a factor. The dominance Tennessee had on the glass last night, we know they're going to come in and control the interior, they're going to control the glass. But to dominate to the extent that they did, Iowa State Cyclones never stood a chance. We told you guys Iowa State was primed for an upset, and that's exactly what they got. They got knocked out. Unfortunately for them, it's a tough L to take without your best player on the court. But credit to Tennessee and that coaching staff for turning up, putting a good game plan together, and really winning that game wire to wire. Moving on to tonight, guys, we have the Elite Eight. Let's get started with the very first game. We have Illinois and we have Iowa. Right now, this line is sitting at Illinois minus 7.5. These teams obviously are familiar with each other. These are two completely different styles of teams. You have Iowa and their slow down pace, playing at a snail's pace. A team that loves to take care of the ball, not turn it over, and defend. And then you have Illinois, a long team that likes to play inside out, takes a ton of their shots, even though they're probably the biggest team in the entire country from three-point range. But you have a team that doesn't turn the ball over much, doesn't foul much, doesn't give away opposition too many free throw attempts. When I'm looking at this game and I'm considering all the factors, I can't sit here and tell you to take Illinois minus 7.5. I think the Illini are going to win this game. I've been talking about how good of a team and how underrated this team is for a very long time on this channel. I think they're going to end up winning this game. But when you're going up against McCollum and Sturts in this type of setting, in a tournament environment, at the pace that they play at, you almost have to play a perfect game to beat this team of Illinois by double digits. Obviously, they can win by 8 or 9 and still cover, but you're getting clearly close to the point where you're going to need the team to win the game by double digits. I can't sit here and tell you that there's a massive edge in laying 7.5 points in this spot. I do think Illinois is going to win. I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever if they do cover, but I don't see a ton of value in laying the points in this spot. It's ultimately going to come down to, can Illinois hit their threes at a high percentage? If they can, they're going to win this game probably going away. Going away in a tempo that's as slow as it's going to be tonight is a win by 8 to 12 points. When you're down 12 points against a team like Illinois, it feels like a 20-point deficit because they don't have that type of firepower, the Iowa Hawkeyes. However, if Illinois is not hitting their threes, and if Iowa clearly is having some success on the offensive end, and they're able to play their style of game, which I do think ultimately this game is going to be played at Iowa's style. This game is going to come down to the wire. Iowa will cover the number, and there's a potential for an outright upset, which I don't think is going to occur unless Illinois plays incredibly poor tonight, but they will be in a tough spot. Moving into my play of the day, guys, the best bet on the entire card for tonight. You have Purdue, you have the Arizona Wildcats. Right now, this line is sitting at Arizona minus 6.5 points. I've been talking about this Purdue team since the Big Ten tournament. This team is starting to click. They're getting production inside and out. This is a team that can beat you in the paint. This team that can beat you from the three-point line. This is a team that's the most efficient team offensively in the entire country, led by Braden Smith, and I'll get to him in just a second. We know how Arizona likes to play. We talked about it on the channel the other night. They like to pound the paint. They like to get layups. They like to get dunks. They like to take short, mid-range jump shots. This isn't a team that shoots the three ball at a very high volume. This is why this is a problem for Arizona tonight. This Purdue team is long. This Purdue team defends well. This Purdue team has interior presence in Clough and TKR. They're going to be able to mitigate the advantage that Arizona typically has against their opponents with their size. Their bigs are going to get theirs. 𝗕𝗏𝗄𝗏 and company are going to have success. They're going to get buckets. They're going to get layups. This is the way the Arizona Wildcats play. But it's not going to be a layup frenzy like we saw against the Arkansas Razorbacks. I can guarantee you that right now. What the Purdue Boilermakers need, and what I think they're going to get, is production from their guards on the outside. Braden Smith has to turn up tonight. He hasn't been great for the last week to 2 weeks, dating back to the conference tournament. If Braden Smith turns up tonight and hits a couple of timely shots, and Lawyer continues to do what he's doing, and he continues to shoot the ball well, and if this Purdue team is hitting threes and they're getting buckets and rebounds on the inside from Clough and from TKR, this game is going to go down to the wire. I think 6.5 points is too many points in this spot. I agree that Arizona is probably the best team in the country. I agree that Arizona right now is clicking on all cylinders. I also think that this is the worst possible matchup for the Wildcats out of all the potential Elite Eight opponents that they could have drawn, and that is the Purdue Boilermakers. Give me a 25-star play tonight on the Purdue Boilermakers plus 6.5. This game is going to go down to the wire. The Arizona Wildcats are going to be on upset alert late in this game, and this game is going to be determined by which team is able to be more efficient offensively. If Purdue's hitting their threes all night long, they're going to win this game. If those threes don't fall late in the game, Arizona's going to sneak out of this game, which is how I'm predicting it to go, with a 3 to 5 point victory. As always, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I'm going to be back tomorrow with more winners in tomorrow's slate of the Elite Eight.